Guys, there's a lot of disturbance. I don't know whether you will be able to hear me. That's the reason why I kept the audio off. Um, hi. If you like the content, please subscribe. And I don't know what OC stand for. I really don't. So I don't know what that stands for. But if you're here, subscribe. OCs, I mean, are these the sketches that I did? Original characters? No, no, no. These are not original characters. These are references from Pinterest. Yeah. So that's the reason I kept the audio off. And I'll keep it on because generally I don't get many people who want to chat, and also I'm not really good at multitasking, so I kept it off. Anyways, I'll keep it on. Let me move this. Let's get to the sketches. I'll see if I can log this in somewhere. Oh. No, I'm not aware of the. These are very random. Like whatever I found interesting on Pinterest. It's not any particular artist. These are real life images also. Though I look for it, and if I find the artist's name anywhere, and I'll definitely give them a credit. Definitely, yeah. I'll look into it. I'm also listening to a podcast, so I'm not just going to turn that on. And if any chats come in, then I'm gonna reply to those chats, okay? Because I'm multitasking right now, and I want to make this as interesting for you guys as it is for me. Okay, so this is gonna go on for an hour. I just don't want to. I'll look into it. I'll check him out for sure. I'm just gonna sketch now. I'll check out the comment in 15 minutes. After 15 minutes. Okay? I need to concentrate on this. I will definitely check out the comments, and I welcome all the comments that are coming in. But I'm very bad at multitasking. So I'm gonna listen to a podcast and do this for some time. Then I'll get back to the chats. I hope you guys understand. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. if you can listen, if you're able to hear to the podcast, it's basically unfiltered thoughts that I'm listening to while I'm sketching. That is what I do most of the time. It's basically unfiltered. What kind of podcast are you guys into? Like while you're doing your work, or while if you're into sketching, if you're sketching. Also, the background news is because of my windows open. Generally, I keep it shut. Today, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't just open. I needed more lighting. So yeah, if you want to share what kind of podcast do you listen to while you are working, I'll welcome that. And you can also share if you are into art. Yeah, what is your favorite subject to draw? If you like art, or if you just consume art, what is the favorite kind of painting or sketches or cartoons or anime, anything that you're watching right now? You can share that. Also, hi to Marshmallow Cakes. If you're still here, hi. Let's do this one now, the bigger one. This one. It's a portrait. What should we listen to? Do you guys have any recommendation for podcasts, for your favorite podcast that I could give a listen to? What do you listen? Like, what's your favorite go-to podcast while you're working? Is there one?
When you tell someone who knows exactly what to do, who can't make themselves do it, that gap has a name, and it's not laziness. Understand this one. I'm 42.
That's a man. Listen.
They're really wild looking. 180 degrees. Yeah. Cool looking animal. Yeah. So when you talk about
I'm listening to Joe Rogan's Forrest Galante podcast, which was a year ago. I'm listening to that and I'm sketching.
you know,
So
cryptids and blah blah blah, I still think that these animals could be out there.
Didn't you go looking for one at one point in time?
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Did you have any sightings or any, at least, I mean, amongst the people who were around, any credible reports?
Yeah. Well, reports, yes. I mean, there's a guy named Nick Mooney who is like incredible. That's been the last one that I was seeing is in Hobart, Pennsylvania. A guy named Nick Mooney who's like a state biologist, like world, like renowned naturalist and biologist who has no reason to make this up or anything. And he swears that he saw one in Tasmania about 25 years ago. And he's like, he's like, I know every animal in Tasmania. I am a biologist. I work with Fish and Game, Fish, whatever their equivalent is. It's like, why would I make this up? It's like I didn't even tell anybody for a year or two. I didn't want to be called a kook. And then he came out with it and sort of began this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, definitely some credible sightings.
How would one even do a survey of those areas? They're talking about like rainforests and tropical jungles, just dense wooded areas. How would one even find what's in there?
And for the most part unexplored too, especially when it comes to PNG and Western Papua. Well, that's the thing. I think that's the barrier to entry, right? Anybody can go to Tasmania, drive down a highway, and be like, oh, I looked and I didn't find it, which is basically a pipe pit. But to get into those places that they could be extant requires helicopter support, refuels, tons of local ground support, like local hunters and tribal people that know the land. And so it's a big, expensive operation to try and get into these places. And then, that's just getting in. Then you pepper in the trail cameras, native cameras, you do some scent trailing, some sound calling, all these, you're a hunter, you know these techniques.
Well, it's interesting because we know that mountain lions are real, but most people don't ever see them.
Right.
And a lot of people that live in these heavily wooded areas,
Yeah.
like it's hard to find them, and they're everywhere.
They live in our cities.
There's a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
So you might get lucky and catch one, but the populations are pretty great in terms of like if you're in Colorado or if you're in Utah, I mean they have a lot of mountain lions.
Right.
It's very rare that you see one. So imagine there's a very small population of mountain lions, or Tasmanian tigers, and you went looking and much more here, much more dense.
Much larger too, huge swaths of unpopulated land. And if they were intelligent and cryptic like a mountain lion, which they probably were because they were the top of the food chain, they know and they choose not to be seen. Like B-22, right? The mountain lion that lived in LA.
We have a big photo.
The one with the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
I just love that photo. He just did. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but
Did they kill him?
they euthanized him. Yeah.
Something's wrong with him. Keeps it down.
she's
got hit by a car. I think, don't quote me on that, but yeah, it was some injury. I think it was a car strike, and it was an old cat as well. So yeah,
What do you think if you wanted?
I think it's interesting. Have you ever seen that motorcycle video where the guy's on the motorcycle and he sees the little guy run across?
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be Orange Panda, right?
So let's see if we can find that.
Sure.
That one is weird because
Yeah, there you go. It's so, and is this a kid? You know? Well, that one looks over embellished, but if you watch the actual video, yeah, so this is the video I've seen. I think that we love humanoids. So, like, as a species, we love the
just play
idea.
the video with them. Oh,
It's also the top.
oh, well, that looks so fake. Yeah, it does. That's a still frame of it. That could just be a video.
Totally. That could be a crazy version. Yeah.
That doesn't look that weird.
But I think,
But they have like something that we judge apart. I've seen the actual video though, which you see the actual video releases.
yeah, this is the same one I've seen. And I think in relation to, like the motorcycle and the guy, even though there's some forced perspective, it's tiny, right? So it looks like a dude, but that would be like a 4-foot tall guy.
Here's these guys and there's the motorcycle. It's so long.
I feel like it ran across.
No, it's
This one looks big. That one was certain I saw it.
full on setup.
Yes.
Guys slowed up like that just in time.
Yeah, that's what
One that I saw though, I thought it was dark hair.
and it ran like this way
Yeah,
across the road,
it was
right?
a very quick, brief video.
Same. That's the one that I think is. Well, it is.
Brilliant. But I don't. It's hard to see the songs. But I seem to remember it looking almost like a native person.
I think, my opinion, and I'm not really, you know,
High performance server that gives you full control.
like we have Khoisan in southern Africa, right? The small bushman. You know, in Borneo, Sumatra, and places like this, there are still very isolated groups of tribal people. You know, and sure, you're talking about proportions of small people and all of that, but what's stopping a teenager? Doesn't matter, I don't care what tribe you're from. You're a teenager, you're going out there and being rebellious, right? From going out with a spear to go on a hunt to deciding to continue going, and then he crosses a road, you know, and now it's become a Bigfoot or an appendix or whatever, because he gets startled, maybe he's doing something illegal or wrong or whatever, and runs, somebody catches it on their helmet cam, and now it's perpetuating into this big thing.
Or they see the light, see the dawn, right? Yeah, if you think about that, that island of Flores, that's what makes it interesting.
Mia Flores, right?
Yeah, well, the Homo floriensis.
Yes.
I think
It's Floriensis.
Yes, yeah, I'm not sure floriensis is. But that's that little hobbit person that they confirmed lived alongside people as recently as
8,000 or 10,000 years ago.
something that they think was fairly recent.
Yeah.
Within, after the next
Yeah. Yeah.
strict criticism.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and there are, across the human species, there are so many diverse looking cultures and tribes and peoples, right? We're all humans, but you know, Aboriginal people, African people, Indonesian people, Asian people, we all look different, you know, and we all have these own distinct characteristics. And so to think about, you know, imagine being a Westerner or whatever, being an Indonesian, like in that video, and then you see someone who looks so different than your own culture, and you're not expectant of it. It's very easy to let your imagination turn into this whole other species, this cryptic thing, versus like, maybe this is someone from a different tribe who's in a different area. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying it's
And there's also they keep finding extinct species of humans, right? Like
Yeah.
Denisovan is
Yep.
and I think there's another one that they found recently. They're trying to figure out what it is. But they're very human-like in
Right.
terms of Homo sapien, right? But slightly different compared to each other.
yeah, with different like jaw morphologies or
Yeah.
cranium shapes or whatever. And yeah, I think we used to, up until 15, 20 years ago, only think that there was like 2 or 3 species of humanoid ever.
Right.
Right. And now there's like, I want to say 8, which is pretty crazy.
Well, that leads me to Bigfoot, because I think that all these stories of Bigfoot, I think Native Americans have a bunch of different meanings for some creature, some larger creature. And we know about Gigantopithecus. I think that's what that is. I think people just have a distant memory.
Like a resonant memory that's evolved over time. Yeah.
Which is probably the same thing as that.
We talked about that, yeah. Well, and also, by the way, it could be the same thing as thylacine, going back to that, right? Like, they could have been in PNG, where these tribes are still talking about 4,000 years ago, and this lore of this striped dog that sounds weird, that has this funny jaw, has been passed down generation to generation, to the point where somebody's out on a hunt or a walk, and they see a flash, and they go, oh, that was that striped dog my grandfather told me about. Now it's real,
I
right?
saw a squirrel once out burning for a full 7 hours.
Please tell me how that happened.
I was looking for wolves.
Yeah.
I was looking for it to be a wolf. I definitely saw a wolf once.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was either a wolf or a large dragon. I'm pretty sure it was a wolf.
In Alberta?
Yeah, because it was at dusk and across the road, and that was when it killed me.
Just too big and stocky and
But it was, distant, getting dark.
Yeah.
Hard to tell, but they're up there. There's a shit ton of them.
For sure.
Everything becomes much more.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it all the time, but I saw this thing run across this like down tree, and it was the tail of the squirrel, and for like a full second, I was like, oh my god, is that a wolf bird? It's a fucking squirrel. God, you're dumb. That was like just, that was how it played out in my mind.
But you had already made it to be a wolf in
Of
your head.
course.
And if you hadn't seen the rest of the squirrel, you had always seen a wolf.
Yeah, I saw a wolf, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
which is what I think people do with black bears that stand up on hind legs when they see Bigfoot.
Black panthers. You see a house cat run across the road out in the woods, and it's
Yeah.
black, and the perspective, you don't have any scale, and you go, I saw a black panther.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is interesting because it's like, they're reintroducing wolves in different parts of America now. They're trying to do it in Colorado. It's like, I hope you guys know what you're doing. Because this idea that you're going to be able to control their populations once you reintroduce them, you're not going to find them.
Right, correct. Yeah. And I mean, like we've seen a wolf pack, I'm blanking on the name of it now, but it's moved all the way down from Washington through Oregon. Now it's all the way to Central California. Right? San Luis Obispo County, Central California is apparently, I don't think they're resident, but they've dipped in because we have tracking collars on them, right? So they've come all the way from Washington, all the way through Oregon. Isn't that wild? Yeah. Incredible. And they are helpful to the environment. They do fill a role, and they outcompete the coyotes, and, their populations.
They'll also kill your kids.
They'll also kill your kids.
Yeah.
They can.
They are fucking predators.
Yeah.
They don't have any rules. Like, we are so goofy and naive when it comes to being predators. We think, like, oh, we have an agreement, a spoken agreement with the people of the forest. Living beings of the forest, I am your friend. I used to live in Colorado and was a slave Indians yoga instructor.
That says a lot.
I told her, she was the best. I told her I saw a mountain lion. She goes, well, when I come to the woods, met the creatures of the woods now. I know them, and I offer no harm. They are only just peaceful walkabouts
Yeah.
and not a threat. Will you shut the fuck up?
Go for a walk through the African bush for one night and see how well that does.
What are you talking about, lady? I sleep when you could have Zach, run into a bear, and you're fucking dead.
100%. Yeah.
Shut up. They ain't gonna use me. Because I'm gonna hear you. I send out a message of peace.
We've become so jaded in the sense of like nature is in harmony and balance. That's like this Western idea of like everything's so harmonious in nature.
It's terrifying.
It's the opposite, you know?
It's such a dumb term. And it's so misinformed. It's just based on idealistic perspectives. It's based on, it's like the utopia
Yeah.
existing. But it's just not. It's too frank and wrong.
Correct.
It's fucking chaos.
It's also based on disconnect, in my opinion. If you've spent time in the wild, if you spend time, I don't care if you're fishing, hunting, hiking, camping, whatever, but like somewhere that is really raw, you're like, holy shit, no, it's not, all Shangri-La out here. Like, it is either be evil. Yeah.
No other video. That
I found a video that looks less fake. Alright, let's see what that one is. It's that one. It's the same one. All the stories on the daily.
what's that?
I think I might have seen just a clip of it, not that longer.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably did show the one who's running on the road south.
Because it looks like shit, yeah,
Yeah.
versus the one where he darts across,
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks like a naked person.
Yeah, it does.
Like a person in a spandex costume.
Dude, I went to a wedding in downtown Los Angeles a couple years ago, and there was a guy, probably had a mental illness, but he was like 6'5", walking down downtown LA, butt naked with this massive schlong was bouncing between his knees. It looked like a different species to me. I mean, this huge beard, like 6'5", massive dude just trotting down the street of
You saw
LA.
that in the woods, going in between the trees from a distance.
100%.
I'd say, oh my god, there's giants in the woods.
I'm a Bigfoot believer like that. If I had seen that exact guy cruising through a park, cruising out in the woods, I'm a believer.
Especially if it's covered in dirt, it's dark out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, mentally ill people too wind up moving to the woods.
It's happened.
Yeah, it's all the time. I remember there was this one guy who was famous in Maine for, he was a legend, where he would break into people's houses and steal their stuff. And then they found out that it was a real person. He had dropped out of society like in the 1970s and just decided to completely live by himself. Like he didn't talk to people for decades.
Oh, wow.
And he was by himself, alone, in a tent in the woods, and he would just steal stuff from people's houses and roll around.
Wow.
Yeah, and like live off of whatever he found or ate. And I don't know what it's like. Graphics, as I said, Stranger in the Woods. Yeah, it sounds like it. For 27 years, Christopher Knight lived alone in a clandestine wooded camp in tiny Rome, undiscovered and unaided, breaking into camp system in a week to survive. They finally captured the rest of April 2013 story of the North Pond Hermit made headlines worldwide. But Knight spoke only to one journalist, Michael Finkel. In this specific excerpt from his new book, Finkel explains the origins of the whispered myth that haunted Central Maine for decades. The legend of the stranger.
It's cool. He like did his look, I mean, I'm sure he had all kinds of probably issues, right? But he lived his own, like, he made his own path. He lived off the stuff. It reminds me, have you ever heard of the Japanese survivor Guam? Heard about that story? Yeah.
Tell us.
So, from my understanding, during World War II, there was a crash in Guam, and from a dogfight. And this Japanese pilot or guy who was in the plane went and hid in a cave up on a mountain in Guam. And he spent until like 2002 living in this cave, thinking that World War II was continuing, and he thought he had a better life living in a cave and living off in the jungle, because Guam is like a hub for, I think, United or Delta, one of the major airlines. So all these planes are coming in and out every day, and he thinks it's World War II continuing. Yeah, and there's military everything else in Guam. So it's
It's
just,
only 2002.
Jamie would have to look,
I
but it
thought
was
it
very
was like
recent.
the 80s or something. I didn't know it was like, that's what it must have been. Fucking old as fuck.
Yeah, it was like in his 70s or so. I don't know. I'm probably getting the date wrong, but yeah.
That's so crazy.
But can you imagine?
You know, I want you to undergrad if you fucked up and went in too early.
Right.
You know, and it is still World War II. They shoot it.
Exactly.
Just hang out for another year.
Yep. Just I'll spend a couple more days in the cave.
Oh my god. Okay. This one, 97.
Oh, died in 97.
Died in 97. So years of service 41, 45. It says 1972.
Can you see that? 28 years of hiding in the jungles of Guam.
Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about. So I found this.
It's not real. Man, oh man, it sucks.
Forced to live off rats and make loincloths out of tree bark. And who spent 41 years living in the jungle after fleeing Vietnam War makes an emotional return to his former home.
Really? Do you think, like, if you're put into his position, is it worth living
Is
like
he
that?
85?
His father was. Oh. Father was
I just looked at that real quick. God damn it, it was great. Maybe that's how we're supposed to live.
Yeah, rat head is good.
Rat head. Well, who doesn't like a good rat head? Why is his haircut so good?
That's a good question.
This is bullshit.
I think this is actually found it.
They redressed him. This is horseshit. Yeah, they redressed him. They redressed him in rags.
Yeah, for the photos.
That's what
That's a little better.
That looks like a rat head. Does he have rat head? What does it say? His son was killed. It said, one day his wife and two of his sons were killed by a lion explosion. Putting him in a state of shock. He took his 2-year-old son and fled into the jungle thereafter, never having any contact with anything else. He was survived by foraging food, eating cassava from the forest and planting corn. Or loincloths from a tree bark and being in a tender hut, raised 5 years above the ground. Cassava's like the stuff to boil, filter, strain.
No, what am I thinking of? Probably
taro.
Taro
Is that what it is?
Yeah, cassava is like potato.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's the one that like actually stripped out. It's very common in the jungle of Central America and South America.
I think taro is what you're referring to. 'Cause it's very starchy and basically inedible until you boil it down.
So,
I think so. That doesn't sound familiar.
taro, like chips.
Yeah.
Taro chips. This stuff, they boil down. No, I'm sure. Smash it. Do all kinds of foods and stuff.
Everything, like when we worked down the Amazon stuff, motors, the Amazon, everything boiled. That's just how everything's like. Day 1, you're like, oh man, this fresh boiled piranha is so good. Day 13, you're like, please God, no boiled piranha for breakfast.
It's an interesting society.
Right. Not what's
It just keeps you alive.
right.
I was with Steve Moore once. He caught a beaver. And one of the things that he cooked was the beef potato. And he said that it was a staple amongst trappers.
Okay.
Beef potato is a good concentration of fat. It's very
I imagine it's just a big fatty
It's
tissue.
disgusting.
Yeah, I bet.
But when you're dying of fat, when you're eating fat, right, you're starving, right? Like fat is when you crave, then it becomes delicious. Sure. Then it's not a matter of, oh, I prefer fried chicken. Well, I'm a pizza guy myself. It's not. We eat based on our flavor preferences.
It is interesting because taste is so elemental to what we decide to do every single day. Oh, I like this, I like that. But that's not the point of food.
Right.
The point of food is nourishment, right? It's to keep your body strong and you continue to have energy. And yet we've completely abandoned that notion. In fact, so much so that we have the opposite problem where we're over-nourishing, at least with fats and oils and things like that constantly.
Yeah, it's. I mean, people could come from the past back from those pioneer days and see people today and go, oh my God, this is wild.
They probably think it was
Everyone's
great.
fat.
They probably, because that was like a sign of being healthy back then and wealthy, right? If you could afford to be fat, they'd be like, wow, this is great.
Well, I don't know about health. There's
Yeah.
definitely a sign of wealth. In fact, being wealthy work. It's like when you lose weight.
Yeah.
That's but that was attractive. Your side there become a big fat one.
Yeah, big old gal.
Yeah, that girl, she's eating good. That's what I like.
That's what I need.
I like some skinny farmer. I like some royal lady who gets to just have fun. Keep doing what she
That's
tries
right.
now.
Last time we hung out, you were doing pure carnival.
Yeah.
How was that?
Now.
You're doing it now?
Yeah, because it's January.
Oh.
January's carnival. Yeah.
Why not?
I mixed in a little fruit. I eat fruit because I find when I don't do that, I did straight carnivore for the first few days. Yeah, I think the first 8 or 9 days. But it was, it's hard. I'm slogging through workouts.
Just no energy.
Yeah, like just a.
Extremely rare plants from textbooks. The danger of using a single species is taken very seriously indeed. Here in the water lily room, experts face a desperate scramble to save one species from oblivion. Nestling amongst the giant water.
So you're done with 2. Now we move on to this one. Now we are sketching this one which is right here. Let's get into it, and while we sketch this, I'm gonna listen to a documentary by Sir David Attenborough, and it's on Kingdom of Plants. Actually, I love plants, as you can see. I have any plants right here. big plant nerd, or like I love plants. So I'm listening to this documentary and sketching. So if you hear something in the background, that's the documentary. You can check it out. It's called Kingdom of Plants by Sir David Attenborough. If some of you guys also love plants, then you can give it a listen too. And at the end of this, I'm gonna do a sketchbook tour as well. So if you're here, please subscribe, and stay till the end when I do the sketchbook tour. Stay till the end where you will get to see this sketchbook tour. Sorry for that.
Pads is the tiny Nymphea thermarum, a Rwandan water lily, the smallest and rarest water lily in the world. Extinct in the wild, these precious few individuals are some of the last remaining specimens. These photographs show its only known native habitat as it was even 20 years ago, a hot spring in Rwanda. It was destroyed just recently when locals redirected its waters to supply a laundry. A single specimen was brought back to Earth, but the species remained. Its seeds germinated, but the seedlings always died. Then some seeds spoke up to this man, Mercure, Carlos Magdalena. Known in Spain as the plant messiah, Carlos is famous for his great skill in rescuing endangered species. Even Carlos nearly met his match with this tiny plant.
I tested many different seedlings. Nothing seemed to work.
But that meant that the species was about to disappear.
Exactly, and that was very worrying for me, so I started becoming a little bit obsessed with it. Yes, I mean, it's just a bit distressing, isn't it? To know that something that you can do or not to make a difference to a species.
Carlos didn't give up. He had one more unlikely idea. He tried growing the water lily out of water.
If you think about it, growing a water lily out of the water is something as crazy as like no, I can't be floating in a boat. So it was the last likely thing that logically you could do. And then that is the result.
Carlos's inspired idea was to make use of this plant's strange ecological quirk. Nearly all other water lilies are deeply, but the Rwandan springs very shallow, little more than that mud. And so by growing it in pots above the water, Carlos replicated its natural habitat. Within a few short weeks, there were 50 specimens, all sent to flower. So this is a crucial moment. If this works, that means to date, you have in fact yourself saved the species.
If I didn't have this crazy idea, the whole species will be gone forever.
unnecessarily drama. In an environment with so many species and so many spectacular ones, it might seem odd to spend so much trouble trying to save just one animal conspicuous. But the relationships within the rainforest are so complex and so extensive that the loss of just one can have a whole series of unpredictable consequences. The loss of a plant can mean the loss of an insect. The loss of an insect can mean that a bush loses its pollen. The loss of a bush can mean that a mammal has lost its food. Nobody can say exactly when or if such things are going to happen. But to me, preventing it happening in the first place seems to make absolute sense. The story of plants spreads well beyond the wetland. They have evolved to occupy almost every environment on the planet. They survive in regions of constant change. They thrive in soils that almost never see rain. As we will discover, they do much of their living in ways that go almost entirely undetected by us. The sunbeam begins to fold its whole leaf around this prairie. There will be no escape from this lethal embrace. Now the plant liquefies its victim's internal organs while it's still alive and absorbs the nutrients through its leaves. Other carnivorous plants don't require special photography to show how fast they can go. Darwin described this plant as one of the most wonderful in the world. It's a native of the coastal plains of North and South Carolina in America. The Venus flytrap. It catches insects with booby traps. At the top, the leaves are baited with the sweet nectar. But lower down, there are a few upright bristles. Triggers. Many things might accidentally touch one of them, so a simple touch has no effect. But a fly crawling around on the leaf sipping the nectar is likely to touch more than one of the bristles. And if it touches two within 20 seconds, that's different. It's thought that the trigger hairs work by releasing a rudimentary electric impulse. The victim's His desperate attempts to find a way out simply trigger more hairs and encourage the trap to close even more tightly. Begins to release juices rich in hydrochloric acid. It will take 10 days to completely digest its meal. But there's a carnivorous plant that moves at even greater speeds. It lives in the hidden underwater world of lakes and ponds. It's called Trichinella laminate. These tiny rivers are mosquito larvae, and they are buckets prey. Bladders that give the plant its name are not floats. They too are traps. Each bladder contains a partial vacuum and has a one-way entrance. By slowing down the action 240 times, we can see how they work. With the slightest touch, the door flies open inwards, sweeping the prey inside. It all happens in less than a millisecond. Trichinella is the plant world's swiftest killer. Hospitals, of course, are very slowly indeed. Our cameras over the year can show just how dramatic such seasonal changes are. It's winter in Kent. It's so cold that the sun's rays are so thin that plants can't grow. And leaves in winter can be a liability. A fully canopied tree can be uprooted by the winter gales, and in any case the flimsy leaves and oaks and beeches will be destroyed by the frosts. So many such trees are naked and inactive throughout the winter. But eventually the sun begins to rise higher and higher in the sky, the days get warmer, and spring arrives. Light and heat-sensitive molecules inside plant cells are the triggers of germination and flower. Timing is critical. Bloom too early and frost can kill a plant. Too late and it can be swamped by the growth of its rivals. The first in flower are bulbs. The beds in front of Q's farmhouse are transformed as they burst into bloom. Then trees join the race. Cherries, and magnolias. Their flowers last just long enough to attract pollinators, and then they will fall. Meanwhile, in the woods, bluebells begin to appear. They must grow fast if they're to collect their share of the spring sunshine before the canopy develops overhead and cuts it off from them. But in some parts of the world, spring and summer may last only a few weeks. And the plants that live there have to complete their annual activities very swiftly. Kew makes special arrangements for them. This is the garden's newest glass house. It's the Alpine House. Inside grow plants from the mountains, where spring and summer are not only brief, but bitter. This house has been built to replicate Alpine tradition, and it does it with this strange shape. Deep below ground, there's a labyrinth of concrete passages where the air is very cold, and as the temperature up here warms, so that cold air is drawn up to the points and flows into the plants around open. And as it warms still further, rises and escapes through the and when the sun is really strong, it's got a slow trajectory. It's usually the melting snow that stimulates the Alpine plant. But here technology creates such congenial conditions that alpines flower without it. The Alpine aloe. Rosa cedar, a Himalayan plant which is closely related to ginger. And sempervivum, a plant so hardy it can root in tiny cracks from green rocks. Mountain plants in Switzerland are nearly tiny, and they have the beauty and fascination of jewels. However, flowers did not evolve to please our eyes. Their function is to please insects. Nobody can be exactly sure how insects view the world, but it's certainly rather different from the way we do. We can see a part of the spectrum from red, which is long wavelength light, through orange, yellow, green, blue, to violet, which is short wavelength light. But insects can see even shorter wavelengths still. They can see ultraviolet. And we can use special cameras to reveal just what information that sensitivity to ultraviolet light reveals. We can move from how we see the world to how insects might see it. By looking at flowers in this way,
So this is what we have created today. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose 3 official. And so this is what I managed to create today. And thank you for being there. Thank you for watching. Even if you were there for some time or if you were there till the very end. And oh, thank you so much. I'm just doing a little bit of sketchbook tour now for the people who are there till the end. This is today's page. This is what I did yesterday. This was done yesterday. Then this was also done yesterday. I hope this was also done yesterday. Is that visible? This is yesterday. Then this is day before yesterday. This was done day before yesterday. Then this was done a day before that. Then what else? Let me show you one of the paintings that I did. This does not have any paintings, so this is one of the paintings that I did. This is the painting that I did. Then this is the sketch. Then what else? This is also one of the sketches that I liked. This is one of my favorite sketches. This is also something that I like. That I enjoyed making this as well. And I really like how this girl turned out. I really like this page as well. It is one of my favorite pages. And I think we should end on this note. Thank you for being here for today's sketching session. Thank you for subscribing if you did. That's it. Bye.